September's second council meeting, one of the first big items on the agenda was planning for the future for three key recreational facilities in the city: Centre 70 Arena, the Memorial Centre, and here at Portsmouth Olympic Harbour. Council was asked to approve a visioning process that would allow for input from the public and explore different uses for these facilities, different community groups that might be interested in using space at these facilities, as well as potential partnerships that could lead to some creative reinvestment into the buildings and properties. Now, at a high level, city staff were recommending that Centre 70 Arena transition from an ice pad into a community centre that could be available for other uses. That the Memorial Centre be redesigned to allow for 2 ice pads within a revitalized arena building, and that here at Portsmouth Olympic Harbour there be an exploration of new commercial opportunities and other ways to better integrate this space into the city's waterfront development strategy. In the end, Council voted unanimously to approve the visioning process, which will now take place over the next year. That means that at the end of 2026, City staff will be reporting back to Council with potential plans and recommendations for these 3 recreational facilities. Last night, Council also approved a new apartment tower at the base of Lower Union Street, next to the historic dry dock and the Marine Museum of the Great Lakes. Now, after a number of redesigns over the last few years, last night Council was presented with a plan for a 19-story building, a 16-story apartment tower built on top of a 3-story podium that would add 118 new housing units. Now, there were some councillors that were concerned about the development being too large, but the potential of obstructing waterfront views, and concerns about the affordability of the units. On the other hand, other councillors pointed to how the development would lead to an improved public space, better access to the waterfront, the potential for a deep water dock for cruise ships, as well as just the value of more housing in the midst of a housing crisis. In the end, Council voted 10-3 to approve the new development. Finally, last night, Council voted to confirm the city's existing target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by 2030. Now, back in 2023, Council had asked staff to look at the possibility of changing that target to a 40% or even a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. However, last night, Council heard from a team of city staff and supporting consultants about how a 30% reduction was the most optimistic scenario. They're trying to reduce emissions beyond 30% would lead to an exponential increase in cost. Council also heard about other challenges, including how the move to electrification now has a smaller impact on emissions because the provincial electricity grid is not as clean as it once was. In the end, Council voted 12-1 to confirm the 30% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and noted that the best way was now to encourage ways for other community members to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions as well.